Alright, I think we got this going right off the bat this time. Which I'm excited for. Just gonna put that over my computer. I think we're good. So we're gonna be throwing a miniature teapot, like we're talking pendant size. We're probably gonna zoom in if I can. I'm not entirely sure if I can or not. Do need to put some headphones in. Kind of forgot about that part. Just so you guys can actually hear me. Because I think the audio is better. This is actually in. Cool. All right. Quick sip of tea. And then with a couple pieces of leaves in there. Morning. How are ya? What's new? What's happening? How's the last 12 hours been since I saw you? Good. I can't complain. It's a nice rainy day. Work got canceled. So I'm just here. Tomorrow is going to be an incredibly busy day. I have to teach in the morning, and then I have to take the kids to a different mountain that we don't normally go to. That is going to be it's like an hour and a bit away. So it's a bit farther of a drive. Hold on, real quick, before we get too far into this. It looks like my fire is not actually lighting. So I'm just going to throw another log in there real quick. Because I, nor Olive, want to be very cold this morning. It's not chilly necessarily in here at the moment, but it is not pleasant. I have her all wrapped up in a sweater. I thought I had my fire going, but I guess I kind of got it going and then walked away, and the wood I'm using is not the best, so I guess it decided to actually not start on us. But that's okay. That's all right. It is what it is. All right, that should do it for us now. Okay, so yeah, it'll be good. It'll be always good. I don't even know where that is. Where is that? All right, so this right here, this little piece of clay, that's going to be our teapot. These are going to be non-functional, like pendants, necklaces, and things like that. So I haven't thrown one of these in a bajillion years. So bear with me when I don't exactly remember how I'm going to do this. I think this first one we're going to do is going to be round. We're going to make a few today. The first one's going to be round, I think. And then we're going to make one that's angular like this, and we'll make one with kind of in my old style of triangulated teapots, which I haven't made in maybe a year and a half. I kind of got bored with them, so I stopped making them. Yeah, I think it should be a good time. So I'm going to use this thing kind of like a throwing stick and just try to bulb this out, this interior section. Now, there's no real reason for these to be super thin or anything like that, but I guess in a way they do want to, because you're going to be wearing them as a necklace, and if they are too heavy, you're going to have a bad time. So I guess in that context, it makes sense. Lee, we're making a tiny teapot pendant. We're going to actually make a couple of them today. They're one of the most requested things I've ever made in my life. The last time I made these was 2 plus years ago. And there was a huge demand for them, and I just didn't want to make them. I had like a spurt of interest in this 2 years ago, and I made like 10 of them. Again, they're probably one of my better selling things I've ever made, but I wasn't feeling it. So you should. What's stopping you? It is expensive, but classes are like a nice, cheaper alternative. Classes are by no means necessarily cheap, but definitely cheaper than setting up your own studio. Okay, fair. It's really just about patience. So if you don't have patience, then this is probably not the best thing. Um, it's really about, it's a combination of just kind of like feeling it in that moment and an interest online. If I post something and uh, it gets a lot of traction, I'll kind of come back to it. Like the whistles. I don't really care about the whistles, to be honest, but the videos did really well, and so I made a bunch of whistles. I think they're cool, but I'm not passionate about it. Um, and these I think are really cool, but what I will say negatively is that I like things that have utilitarian function, not like art aesthetic function. And so, are these more interesting than an actual teapot? No. Do these take as much time as an actual teapot to make? Yes. So, what do I want to spend my time doing? You know. But at the end of the day, I also have to make a living. So I I have to sometimes just accept the fact that the thing that I'm making that moment isn't my favorite thing in the world. Um, Again, I love making teapots. Maybe we'll make these functional, as in like they can actually pour and you can actually take their lids off. But if we do that, then they're going to become non-functional as a pendant. So where do we draw the line? You know, Steve, what's up? What kind of stuff do you wood carve? There's number one. Ducks. All types of ducks. What kind of ducks? Is there a specific duck? Wood duck? Mallard? So there's number one teapot body. We're gonna make a few of these and then we'll make spouts. I'm just again gonna check on my fire just to make sure this actually lit it. Because this wood is being very stubborn right now. I also managed to spill a ton of water on my floor this morning, so my entire studio is just wet and cold. It's weird. My fire is actually having quite a hard time getting going this morning. I don't know what the deal is with that. But whatever, we'll come back and we'll figure it out. Good. I'm glad you do. I appreciate that. Well, we're making a lot of teapots today, though they are very small today. So that makes it easier, eh? Yeah, I for some reason, and I guess it kind of makes sense because the name of I called my business is Bell Hill, and so a lot of people just assume my name is Bell, um, or they weirdly call me Bill, which I don't. I really don't understand the correlation of Bill and Will. I understand that there is like a crossover there, but I don't get it. Have we? Whereabouts? I'm not good with names, and your picture is very small on my screen, so. Ooh. Okay. I guess I have to use my impromptu throwing stick. Sounds good, Lee. Take care. Right, Chris? A little baby teapot? I always think it's kind of funny. Like you see like people making little teapots online and people or like little objects online and there's so much like I don't know. I get messages when I make small stuff. There's like those people are so competitive. They're like, "Oh, but I made all these little mini vases." I'm like, "That's very cool, man." I get messages all the time when I post stuff like this. And it's like, "Cool." I don't know what I guess they just want to be a part of it, but they get like weirdly defensive on these are so much easier to make than like an actual teapot. They take as much time because they're small and so there's just like nitty-gritty things, but you lose functionality and you're losing all these other aspects to it and it takes no clay and you can throw it off the hump and it takes no time to dry. So it's like we're gonna make like 5 of these and it's gonna take us an hour, you know? So oh nice. The original one? The one back way back? You didn't come to the more recent one? That was last year, I think? Nice. I reposted oh wait, no, that wasn't from that. Never mind. Oh Ken. I was I'm still slightly annoyed that I never like I'm not annoyed at all. Um, that I never like kind of like took up the idea of like going and apprenticing with him or doing that like year-long thing. I'm not annoyed about it because I talked with Florian Gatsby about it because he did it, but he only had to do it for 3 months, and I think I made the right call of just hanging out with little dog instead. Gotcha. I think he's coming back again if, in 2 more years. Whenever he comes back to the States, he really liked our interpreter this time, this guy named Kichi. I don't know if you've seen him on Instagram or not. Lovely, lovely, lovely guy. I need some newspaper. One sec. Kichi's firing with a dude, um, mostly named Trevor Youngberg, I believe is his last name. Yeah, Ken makes cool stuff. Did you end up buying one of his pieces during the workshop? Bye. Have fun with Karma. Gotcha. Nice. Nice, nice. He makes some cool stuff. Um, I Allison gave me one of his Me during this last workshop. She was very nice to do that. Um, he makes some cool stuff. I don't own any Akira pieces, but he's a nice guy. I met him at Old Church Pottery Show in New Jersey like 3 years ago. He seems like a sweet dude. The pottery community is just so nice in general, honestly. Like, yeah, the maybe we should make since we're talking about Japanese aesthetic, maybe we make one of these Kyushu teapot. We'll make it a little bit wider. All right, so I have two upright ones. Boop. Two upright ones. Let's make a wider one, and then if we like it, um, we'll make two wider ones, and then we'll make a old style teapot of mine. I think. The one thing I will say about throwing these things that is somewhat tricky is using the right amount of clay. Like, you use way less than you think you're supposed to. And if you use too much, it becomes a teapot instead of a pendant, which is fine. But we are going for nice. I assume that means you speak fluent Japanese. Jealous. I've been trying to, but Pat, how are you? I honestly am not very good. Really? How's that possible? That doesn't make any sense. Um, I've been trying to learn Japanese just to learn a different language, and I like the sound of it. And I'm very bad. The closest I've been getting is I've been listening to trying to do these Pimsleur things, and it's been working okay. Um, and then I have an Oculus that I got many years ago, and I don't use it anymore. Except I bought a game called Noun Town, and I it's like a Japanese. Well, it's a language learning game, but it's kind of immersive and all that, which has been really nice. But I'm still really bad at it. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Pat. Yeah, it's really hard. It is not an easy language, eh? It's like, I don't know. I mean, granted, I can barely speak English, and so I have no context of what is actually hard and what is not. So, it makes that part of it a little bit more difficult. I'm gonna close in the rim here. Ooh, did I close it in too much? Ugh, God, I hate being reliant on tools, but my fingers are too fat to do anything else. So, okay, so this is pretty much what I wanted design-wise for this. I think I kind of want to go out a little bit more for a Kyushu side handle teapot, you know? That makes sense. I was bad at it when I was learning fair Steve. I was bad at learning languages as a kid as well though. So I have no excuse. I'm just just always been bad. I just don't it's been nice learning it because it's really screwing up my brain. Um, as far as like I haven't had to use that part of my brain ever, which has been nice. And I really do enjoy being bad at things. This is kind of I don't know why, but just a thing of mine. And hold on, I need to actually concentrate for half a second. This is ending up looking like the ones we just did. Whatever. This will be a side handle Kyushu teapot. I think. I'm not 100% sold on that, but gotcha. For 20 years, though? That's crazy. What was the company? Did you say? I've already forgotten. So, Pat, to that degree, which I was talking about that Noun Town VR game, you are conversing with robots, but in VR, and because you're talking to them, it does feel a little bit more immersive and feels like you're actually kind of talking to someone to a degree. It just depends on where you are in the game, though, and stuff. It's not, they're still working on it, but cool. The answer wasn't that much, right? All right, maybe we'll actually start with 3 teapots and see how we're feeling, because I might get bored of this. Or do we just commit and we just do 5? Now let's commit and do 5. Let's switch shapes around. Let's go like that. or maybe make a flatter shape. Also, that one was too much clay. Yeah, it's, these are not going to take long to do, so we may as well. And I don't have to, like, for the lids, you don't have to trim anything. You don't have to, there's no flange. The lids are going to be permanently attached to these because, again, they are um, doozy what's it teapots, so it doesn't really matter. All right, we're going to just start from the scratch and see what it's like throwing with this thing, because I want to try to make one more before we actually do the one I said I was about to do, but I want to try one more that's like really angular. Not angular. Though it could be angular. We could make an angular one. Why not? I do like a good angular teapot. Yeah, that's kind of what we're at here too, Pat. We got, oh no, I take it back. Tomorrow I think is going to be 50, and then it's supposed to drop back down into the teens. Where are you located again? Okay, yeah, I like the idea of this being angular, so we're gonna do angle. How do I do angles with this small amount of clay? Gotcha. Oh man, I'd kill for 40 just as an average. I'm in New England, yeah. I'm up in Connecticut, where it's tomorrow's supposed to be 50, high of 50, low like 30, so 4. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be a high of 50 and then a low of like 26. Oh, no way. Did I know that? That's cool. What? Did you actually? That's awesome. Will you send me a photo? I'm curious to see what it looks like. How's it work? I'm currently writing a how-to for my double-walled pots for Ceramic Monthly. That I'll be in the uh, April edition of Ceramic Monthly, I think, all about double-walled teapots, which won't be as helpful because it's not shiboridashi, but it's still, you know, insight. I've never written out step by step what you have to do, and it turns out it's really hard to make stuff. I just make them and I'm on autopilot while I'm working. I truly didn't realize like how many steps there are to make a double walled pot. I just like because I'm just on autopilot and I usually talk to you guys while I'm doing stuff. I didn't even realize. Oh, awesome! Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm here all the time. I mean, YouTube is brand new for me, but I'm bored of TikTok, and Instagram has never been great for live videos for me. So I don't care. I'm done with that. So here I am. Wait, the second teapot you ever made was a double walled shiboridashi? That's insane to me. That's a commitment right there. Well, like I said, if you need some help and you want a step-by-step guide, it'll be on in Ceramic Monthly in April. We're making 5 I don't know why I held up 3 fingers. 5 teapot pendants. All right, let me again check on my fire just to make sure. I don't want my poor little baby dog to freeze. Oh God, why is this not burning? Come on, fire. Just start for me, would you? Yeah, it is not wanting to start. Come on, buddy. What is the issue here? Why are you being so schnagly this morning? Usually my live videos do not revolve around 20 minutes of trying to get a fire started in my studio, just as a heads up. I mean, they can if this is doing it for you guys, but this is definitely not a normal beginning. Wow. Okay, there we go. That sounds like it's going. Okay. Okay, please do. Nice. That's awesome. Freya, how are you? Thank you. Appreciate that. Very sweet of you. How's the gang going? What are you guys up to today? And what kind of wood kiln are you firing in? Look how cute that is. Like a little angle. I like the little angle on that. All right. Let's make one more little mini angular one. Okay. Just a little baby ball clay. Gotcha. Nice. What do you have a kiln, or are you firing with someone else most of the time? May have gotten a little too excited on this one. Nice. That's awesome. That's super cool. I'm glad it put you here too. Are you going to take a class somewhere? What's your plan? Gotcha. I'm very curious of the results of a converted one into a soda kiln or into a converted wood kiln. Did you do one of Lisa Orr's rocket kilns? Exactly, Pat. That's exactly why I do it. It makes life a little nicer for design work and all that. Okay, we're gonna cut off the top because it's too big, but that's okay. Not crazy big though. So I found a bunch of non-copyright music stuff that I can play through my computer when we're all here. This is the work for this lo-fi is gonna make it so I can't post this video most likely. One of the videos we made yesterday got canned. Um, but the music that I can use is really bad, so I need to figure something out. Or it's like really intense. It's not like good pottery music, you know? Do you really? I think these are easy. I mean, like I have less possibility with shape, but because it's harder to kind of like finagle because I have to use a tool. But overall, easier, and they're non-functional, so it takes a lot of like extra steps out of the blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? I was about to say, it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. Um, you can definitely do it though. I mean, people have been buying those Bever wheels. I've been seeing them a lot on TikTok. They look really bad to me, and they sounds like the bearings kind of go up pretty soon. But $200 beats 1,700 for one of these. So that's a really good point, Pat. Oh my God, this fire! What's going on? All right, here's number 5. So next thing we're gonna do is work on lids, and lids for a little teapot are pretty hard in the sense of like I can't really measure very well, but I guess it doesn't really matter. So I have a question for you guys. These are going to be necklaces, is the idea, right? Um, that means that I probably have to, the nubbin probably has to have a hole through it, correct? Yeah, it's a little small, eh? But we like the idea of a pendant, like the part where you actually attach the chain to, as a hole through the lid. Is that the best move? I think it's going to be kind of hard to actually do that without making the oven too large, but I can't really think of another option. And yes, I know we could do like a, if we did it, actually, well, hold on. If we did a side handle, you could just have it hanging at an angle. Is that off-putting if this teapot spout was facing downward a little bit and you put a chain through the handle? Cool. Okay, cool. So I'm glad that we're on the same page there. So that is an option. That is an option. We are going to be doing a Kyushu teapot for at least one of them. Um, very true. And so that's going to have a side handle, which means that that is not going to be an accessible thing. And hold on, what is up with this fire? Sorry, it's going to be this seems like it's going to be a constant today of me just like coming over here with my torch, and I'm just going to torch the absolute whatever out of my fire. But I would really prefer not to be chilly. So, all right, we'll see if that does it. We'll just have to keep going back and forth, I think. Put a hole through the lid and run a wire through it. The bottle will lift up. I don't think I understand. Are you saying that if it's connected to the lid that so it's going to hang sideways then? Am I misinterpreting? I'm a little confused. Where is the connection of the bottom part in that idea going? Like where does that bottom piece connect to? So it's straight up and down. Okay, okay, I see. So I make some kind of attachment on the inside of the bottom of the pot that the wire goes to somehow, and then the lid can go slide up and down. I love that idea. I don't know how I can get my hand in there. I do really like that idea though. Thank you, Steve. At the bottom. Interesting. Okay. Let's let's we can try that on one of these. I'm not opposed to that as long as I can get a wire through and everything, it makes it so then I would have to make the lid more complicated aesthetically to make it work, which I'm not opposed to. So I would only necessarily want to do that on one of them if we do try that. But let's, oh my God, this lid is so little. Let's make a couple, yeah, yeah. Ah! It caught on me. Do you guys want me to zoom in so you can just look at my hands, like get closer in on this? Would that be more interesting than the view that you guys currently have? If I can. I don't actually know if I can zoom in like that on here. Wow, this is little. All right. I want to take this one off and actually just look and see if the measurement is correct, because it looks correct to me here, but I think it's actually too big, says the calipers. So I just want to take it off and take a gander. So there's our little lid. Let's see how close we are. So that's perfect size right there. How stupid that is. It's like, I can't even. I can't even. It's just so silly looking. Okay. Thanks. I may make just these 5 less complicated today, Pat. There is a chance, but let's see what we can do. Wow. Oh, you don't think it came together already? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. That's a fully flushed out teapot right there. Stupid is a good thing when they look really dumb to me. If I think a teapot looks like cool, I've done something wrong. You know, the plus to these over a normal size teapot is the profit margin is much bigger, even though they take, as long to make. I just like if I'm firing these in a different kiln that I have to pay for, if I have to pay for that kiln, which doesn't really happen anymore. But if it does, then I'm not losing any money, which is nice. Oh my God, matching teacup earrings? Pat. Pat. Totally, Freya. That's there's gonna be ones closer to that one, I think, especially once we get a side or back handle on them. But no one said anything. Do you want me to try to zoom in so you can actually see like what I'm actually doing instead of looking at me? It's up to you. It doesn't matter to me. So silly looking. This one, I don't know if I like the nubbin as much as the last one. This nubbin's a little straight up and down, you know? I like a little curved, my nubbins. I mean, come on. These are going to be adorable. Okay. Man. You're so silly. I'm now having fun. Again, I wasn't like psyched about the idea of doing this morning, but I think I actually just cut that too small. Oh, maybe it'll fit a different one. But now I'm starting to enjoy myself. Thank you. I appreciate that. Speaking of which, I have a giveaway. I win a double-walled cup. And since I don't really have many followers on Instagram, I mean on YouTube, um, the chances of winning it are pretty high. You just have to be in the States. That's the only thing. I don't want to ship internationally. It's like $40 to ship internationally. Why did that happen? Oh no. The bottom is being weird. Whatever. I can just cut this off. Doesn't really matter. I got the idea. Boop. There's a little bean. All right. Yeah, I think this one, I cut it too small. But that's okay because I have two others that I think this will be perfect for. Okay, this one's still a little small. There we go. Oh, look at that fit. Uh, so silly. And again, I'm just gonna check on my fire because it's doing a lot of smoldering. You know, I got essentially what happened is I ran out of wood, and so I went out into the woods and I cut some. But the problem is, um, it's been cold and rainy and snowy and icy, and so everything that I have hasn't had enough time to actually like dry out and be nice, happy wood. And so it really is not warmed up in here, and I keep shoving my hand into cold water. This is the same water I used yesterday, so I need anything. I mean, it's yeah, that's all right. It is what it is. Some days I don't know. I just it will exactly. So, I don't generally try to fire green wood, but it's not even green. It's just frozen. Is this functional? It's a functional necklace. I'm not going to make this. I usually make these little ones functional, but functional. There's too much, the surface area of the water, they don't pour, even if you made these pourable. It just doesn't work, but which is a shame. But over the years, I've made a bunch of them with little removable lids and all that fun stuff. I know you'd have to make little baby leaves. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have seen those YouTube videos of those dudes. People just making like they'll cook on miniature stuff with mini pieces of fish and all that. Be fun to do that. Yeah, well, Freya, we're probably gonna make at Pat's suggestion, little cup earrings, little mug earrings or something. If we feel like it after we finish these 5 teapots, we'll do that. 'Cause that sounds pretty cute. I think I took the wrong measurements with the calipers because this is not going to be big enough either. I don't know how I screwed that up, but that's okay. It happens. I made really small teapot earrings at one point. They were about this was the size. Like the whole teapot was this big. Years ago I did. And people online were weirdly annoyed about me. It was like they're like, it's gonna be too heavy. It's not gonna no one's gonna wear it. It was they weighed like 2 grams. And people thought they were too heavy. I'm like, I don't think you can make anything under 2 grams. Like, how much do normal earrings weigh? It was very weird. It was a weird interactions, a lot of weird interactions. I don't have earrings. Um, I don't have pierced ears, so I can't try them. It's like I was really into making wooden hairpins recently, and I made a bunch of them, but I don't have hair to try. So, all right, let's see if this is good for one of these. This one's good. Yeah, we're gonna keep it. Why not? I'm afraid I don't understand, but I'm gonna take the thumbs up as a compliment. Oh yeah, that's awesome. I really appreciate that. It's very sweet of you guys. Like I said, the goal one day is to marry a rich doctor so I can just do this full time all the time without worrying. So keep that in mind, guys. All right, one more lid, and then we're gonna make spouts. Wait, what am I doing? And then we're gonna make one more lid, and then we're gonna make spouts, and then we're going to do uh, something, something or other. Okay. I'm fine with that, Freya. That's fine by me. I'll take it. I'll take anything. What's up, Joyce? You missed the tumblers we made yesterday. Unless you were here, and in which case, I was a little spaced out yesterday while we were doing that. They came out pretty cool. All right. I mean, come on. I can't with these things. I need another cup of tea. Hold on. And then I need some, Sydney, what's up? So now we're gonna make little baby sprouts and then trim them. And then we're gonna have one that's gonna have a top handle, one that's gonna have a Kyushu side handle, and then the remaining three will have back handles. I think that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, I get that. I, for the first time, had like breakfast today. It's been a million years since I've had breakfast. Let's see. How do I make a baby spout? I don't know. I'm not quite sure. It's been a while. I guess it doesn't actually have to be hollow because this doesn't work. This isn't going to be like, you can't get into this teapot anyway, so I guess it doesn't have to be hollow. So I don't have to make this as complicated as I was about to. But I think I still have to make it. No, I guess I could just do it as a solid piece of clay, but lightness would be nice in any context. Exactly. I was wondering how you made spouts. I appreciate that. Hey, how are you? We're making teapot pendants. All right. That's not what I want. I want this little. These little like kids tools really. They're working well for us today. How do I do this? My fingers are too big. Okay, actually, I guess that is fine. Yeah, actually, that's fine. That's totally fine. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. We're doing all right. Except I do want to make it have an opening because I think that no. Ah, I forgot how small this was, and I just shoved this thing down there and just pierced down in the clay. Yeah, I think that's the way. I want them to have an opening like that, so you see that it's a spout. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. I think we're good. That's good. Now 5 of those. They, yeah, very steady. Eh? Um, they're easier than a normal teapot. I'll tell you that. Uh, they're just like slightly annoying. Let's give it a little bend to our spout. No one likes a straight spout. Just like we don't like straight nubbins. We got a little bend to our spouts. A good thing. Ooh, okay, it's kind of working. I gotta just clean up the base here. Are they? The bears are fine. As long as you just don't get in between the cubs, you're good. They're not trying to hurt anybody. But like I said, it was kind of annoying that they destroyed my trash thing. Kind of annoyed by that. But, you know, it had to be slightly rebuilt anyway. Part of it was rotting. And so, and I didn't know that it was rotting. So it was going to fall apart on its own regardless at some point. Oh my God, Joyce, can you imagine a tiny teapot that's double walled and pierced with holes? I'm willing to do that at some point. Today is not the day, but I am willing to do that because I don't, you know, I have another one of these things with even smaller holes on each side to the point where they're very small. Um, little baby mice. What's up, JC? So I like that. I want to do that. That's a day where I have to be uh, emotionally stable to a very high. I mean, I am today. I'm not saying I'm not, but I have to be like tip top shape to attempt something so ludicrous. Otherwise, I will lose my mind, I think. You guys probably, I doubt any of you guys have ever seen, I used to double wall my spouts, lids, handles, and bodies. Um, I stopped doing the lids. I mean, sorry, I do the lids still. I don't double wall the handles. I just poke holes in them now. And I don't double wall the spouts anymore. But that was a very custom occurrence. Custom? No. Whatever occurrence. Look at that. Oh, look at that spout. That honestly might be one of the best spouts I've ever made in my life. I love it. It's so cute. It's like the perfect spout. Nice little curve to it. It has a nice flow. It feels right here and there. Oh, yeah, let's make 4 more of those. Okay, so not used to making them this small though. I have to remember that I can't use my fingers every single time I go to like want to use my finger to open this up and I can't. The double spouts were the bane of my existence, which is one of the reasons I stopped doing them. They had a huge tendency of cracking off or breaking, and you throwing a spout and then inserting another spout and then attaching the holes. A lot of the time, the holes would crack, but it was truly nightmarish. I mean, I did it for a while. Um, they were really cool. I think I kept one for myself. It's still up in my apartment, I think, or maybe I sold them all. To be honest, I don't really know. If someone wants to buy something, I'll sell it. I'm not trying to keep anything. A lot of the time, I've had people comment on an Instagram story from a cup I'm drinking out of, being like, "I want to buy that." I'm like, as long as you don't mind that it's heavily used, have at it. So that makes it more expensive because you gotta pay for all my DNA stuck to that pot. But I love the idea of making a double walled miniature teapot pendant. That thing's gonna be like $1,000. I'm telling you right now, if I make it, because it's gonna be a one off, one of a kind, never happening again. At least not in 2025. Okay. And so I think all of these are going to get into, actually, these are probably all going to go into the soda kiln. That's going to be the next firing I have, which is going to be in like 2 weeks. I can't believe it's pretty much March already. It doesn't really make sense to me. almost my birthday too. Very exciting stuff. I have to take Olive on an adventure somewhere. I need a little piece of clay. I hit this a little bit too long with the torch. Yeah, it's fine. I almost always drink puer when I'm in the studio. It's just my favorite studio too. So this is a 2017 Gold Bud puer. Right, February is really cranking by. January took 7 years to go, and now February has gone by in a flash. Kind of frustrating, but that's okay. This month has been significantly better than January, so I'm frustrated by that fact. You're getting pollen already? That's crazy. Okay, Pat, that is a good point. I would like some flowers. I like all my cherry blossoms to be in blossom. All cherry plants to be in blossom. My go-to tea dealer, Whispering Pine Teas. Everybody should buy tea from him so he doesn't go out of business. Yo, cool. What's up? Actually, let me do something real quick because it's worth it. Whispering Pines. You guys should all go and click the undisclosed link that I'm posting that is clearly not sketchy at all, and buy tea from that guy, please. Yeah, it is. I've run out of all of his older wares. Oh wait, did you buy the loose leaf? I'm not psyched on the fact that I have to buy a loose leaf now. Or I miss his cakes at Puer. I would buy a tong like every 2 months or every month or so. Magnus, I'm sorry. I do not. But I also just don't remember anything ever. Gotcha, Pat. I'm hoping the buds don't come too soon because I'm sugaring right now, and so I don't want my maple trees to bud yet. I have tried some Indian teas, but I'm more of a Chinese tea kind of guy. When I was in India, I was really enjoying the chai while I was there. I haven't, Freya. I have to check him out. Willard Wiggin. What a name. Well, I'm totally doing that. I'm 100%. If you're buying a pot that I'm using, it's extra if you want me to like spit in it too. Extra. Before I ship it. But I don't think the USPS would be into that. They'd probably not enjoy the extra bodily part to it. But for the Scottish people out here, I'm willing to do it. But yeah, there's this. I have a couple people who literally they don't buy anything from me from my stores. They seem to only buy stuff off of my stories while I'm trying to drink, and that's fine. There's like 4 people that I have that over the years that's the only way they purchase my work is watching me drink out of it, and I have to wonder, is it there is some weird DNA aspect to it. My birthday's soon. It's on St. Patty's Day, which is, I've never gone out on my birthday because I don't drink. So I always go out the day before if I'm gonna go buy myself some Thai food. I used to, every year on my birthday, I usually do like a backpacking or a camping trip. Or now that I have Olive, I've been just kind of spoiling her. Um, but yeah, Sydney. So the other reason if I go out and I just do things locally, which is not that often because I'm a hermit, I always drinking tea out of one of my actual good cups, not a trashy studio cup like this. And that usually sells some stuff, which is cool. I mean, Pat, who's to know, I'm not going to ask anybody because it's their business. And I don't want to potentially like have them stop buying pottery from me because I've asked them something and they're feeling embarrassed by it. So, what? Happy almost birthday. I didn't know we had almost the same birthdays. Okay, this one's not getting any extra treatment. Thank you. I don't think Christina's in here. Otherwise, she'd probably say something. But I'm pretty sure her birthday is like the day before mine or 2 days before. I feel like in Amanda's, who I don't think is also in here at the moment, hers is like on the 23rd or something. I feel like there's a lot of birthdays from people who watch pottery in the same area. Awesome. That's a great excuse. I like that idea a lot. You should do that. Introduce some good tea. It's needed. Everybody's drinking just okay tea. It's not great. It's not horrible, I guess, but it's not great. That first spout we made was the best. I have not made another one like that yet, which is fine. What? Happy birthday to Garden. That's awesome. They doing anything fun? You guys doing something fun? You all go out? I'm definitely game for a March tea party. 100% game for that. Oh yeah. To be well, in their defense, the U.S. is so bad at kind of like showing good teas that um, you know it doesn't really matter where you are. Um, you kind of just have to be in the know. Honestly, the tea world in that way is very similar to the atmospheric fired pottery world. It's like it's a world that unless you stumbled upon it is not accessible to you and you would never know about it at all. I mean, it's just like it would just never you would go your whole life and not even realize there was something else. It's a weird it's a weird thing. All right, I just need to pour myself some more tea. Like a lot of potters don't even know the word atmospheric, you know? It's true, Steve. People don't even know what atmospheric is. Yeah. You can talk to a bunch of people and they don't even know what they've never heard of a wood kiln, or so if they have heard of a wood kiln, they've never heard of a soda kiln. I mean, like you would never know. And it's hard to find access to one unless you, again, stumbled upon one or you somehow did enough research to figure it out. It's not common. They're everywhere, but you have to know. And you have to know someone to start firing with them and all that kind of stuff. Oh God, sugar and tea, gross. It's how I stumbled. I stumbled into atmospheric pottery. Now I did know about it previously, but I stumbled into a community here, and the community in Connecticut is just weirdly amazing, um, which is another reason I'm still here. There's a bunch of reasons why I'm still here, but that is a huge reason. I mean, look how cute that is. All right, one more. And then we're going to trim the teapots themselves. And then, yeah, well, so you're in that's a whole different like situation though, because you're in a place that's super known for pottery, right? And so the circumstances are different. If you're anywhere else in the country that's not like North Carolina, um, no one's ever heard of any of it. Right? It's pretty cool. Ah, oops. Was my birthday on a Monday this year? See, so exactly. It's like either it's the inaccessibility. I feel like my birthday's usually on a weekend, but I guess I know it doesn't really matter to me. It's like I uh, I work for myself, so none of it matters. Any day could be a Saturday, and any day could be a Monday for me. Maybe that means I could go out on my birthday if I felt like it, though, because people go out on the weekend and on the Sunday or Saturday instead and drink their green beer and stuff. Though I don't know where I'd even go. I don't go out to eat anyway. Are you going down to the or has it already happened? The wood fired conference, or is that in the summer? The North Carolina wood fired conference. I don't even know what month that's in. I've been meaning to go do that one of these years, but to be honest, as much as I love pottery, but I don't really want to be like nonstop talking about pottery. And when I hang out with potters, that's usually what happens, and that's fine. But I don't know if I want to travel just to talk about pottery. It doesn't sound that fun to me, to be honest. Yeah, It looks fun. It looks super fun. The first part where I think Akira is one of the people, right, who's hosting um, spaces, and I think they've already sold out his spot. You did? Awesome. Go, gotcha. I haven't actually looked this year up. Maybe I'll maybe I'll look. Do you know what month that's in? It would be fun to go fire some other people's kilns. And I'm not very, I mean, I'm active in the community, but I'm not as active as I probably should be. So, that's when my New England Woodfire conference is. All right, let me throw some more stuff into my fire real quick. It's finally starting to light, which is exciting. It only took a couple hours. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do. I haven't yet. I'm not putting that. The only thing I'll put in my tea is if I have like a really bad grade of pu'er, I'll put cocoa nibs in to make it taste better. And the only other thing is if I have good pu'er and I have some fresh maple syrup that I've just made, I'll put a little bit of maple syrup in my pu'er. That's pretty nice. I don't do that often though. I don't really like consuming sugar in general. So, oh, whose studio would you go to? There's some cool ones up there. All right, let's see how this trimming goes. This chuck might be too big. I'm gonna get a piece of clay to go around. I don't usually put coils on, but because it's so small, why risk it, you know? Is this not my... Nature's Sweet Tea from them? No, I haven't. Um, I haven't tried many of... is it an herbal infusion? Where's Ben? I don't, that name does not sound familiar at all. Hmm. I have one that I have right now that's an herbal from him that I don't know how to pronounce. Um, it's the one few ones I get. He also sent me some lotus flowers um, the last time I bought some tea. Hmm. That sounds nice, Pat. Hmm. Next time I buy tea from him, or do a trade with him, I'll take a look. Okay. So, because this is so small and we made 5 of them, everything's really dry. And so it's not sticking in my chuck, which is fine. I'm just going to make a stickier chuck. Interesting. I'll have to look that up when I'm off. I don't want to Google it right now. But I'll look that up after the live. I'd be curious. He has pretty aggressive descriptions of things, so I'm curious how he's describing it. I really should torch the bottom here as well, but I'm not going to because I'm feeling lazy. You guys have seen my tiny wheel, right? I'm not throwing on this thing. It has no torque. My mom bought this for me a couple of years ago, like 3 years ago for Christmas. It's a little mini potter's wheel. Pretty cute, eh? But it's it's awful to actually functionally use. It does not work. But you know what would be probably smart is to actually use a smaller loop tool. I'm just waiting for this thing to pop off. Sort of shocked it hasn't. It pretty much is, Freya. Though I think the surgery would be a little bit more complicated than this. All right, I think this is not the trimming tool I want. The question is, do I own a trimming tool that is what I want? And I don't know if I do or not. That one could potentially work. This one could potentially work. Okay, so I have these two. This one looks potentially viable. It's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. Neither of them are really what I want. I don't think I have like a small stirrup tool, but I think this will be fine. But as long as I make sure to clean it out first. So something that does kind of that I don't like about other small scale pottery that I see is that they don't really trim the bottoms that often. They just cut it off and call it a day. And it seems kind of unfinished to me, but to each their own, I guess. I've never really quite understood people who are not into trimming because trimming is half the pot, right? I'm only throwing the top half section when I'm throwing. The second bottom half section is done trimming. And unless you're really like specifically making a form that doesn't require any trimming, which I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of production work. I don't really get it. I understand why you might not like it to do it, but to not do it seems very odd to me. Right? It's a great part. I'm a huge fan too. So There's our little foot. It could be lower, obviously, or not. I don't know if it's obvious or not. It could be a lower form, but I kind of like how silly it is and how tall it is. And you know, they're pendants. Who cares if they're like a little bit? Thanks. Yeah, you really have to like take that into account when you're making them, and it's hard to. It's really difficult, and you can't take as much weight off, and other factors are kind of making it more difficult. But yeah, it's definitely hard to plan ahead to have something trimmable after you've altered it. This isn't attached at all. Well, that's not gonna work. Come on, little guy, what are you doing? I don't think that's really attached either, but that's okay. That's all right. Yeah, this is not attached at all. Come on, buddy. I guess I could have made a chuck that was inversed and like a tech that not solid. That probably would have been actually a smarter move. I guess I could do that for the remaining ones, but I also kind of just slightly like struggling through this. Again, I really enjoy being bad at stuff, so it kind of fits into that whole MO. Slate masochistic personality trait, you know? This one we're going to drop. Ah, it's not even moving. It's not attached. So it's what's interesting is that like not only is this not attached, but this is wobbly as I'm doing it. It's making it very difficult. I'm enjoying it. And I know I could make it easier on myself by doing a couple of very simple things like torching the base. But again, the challenge is fun. It's not fun when things are too easy. Ah. It's also not fun when they break. So I guess there's a fine balance between the two things. Hmm. Yeah, I think we're good. Ah, no, we're not. Clearly not. Nice. What kind you get, Pat? If he was bigger, I'd make him give me an affiliate link. I'm trying to always push his tea, but I'm more concerned about him just never going out of business. His tea is just so good. You know, it's like I've tried a bunch of other teas. People give me white tea all the time, and it's good, but I break out in hives all the time. I'm glad, Emma. These might be a little smaller than the typical Gong Fu teapot, though. Uh, yeah, these are going to be 10 milliliter teapots if I made them functional, which I'm not going to. I could very easily make them functional because we did put holes everywhere, so but I'm not going to. Ooh, that sounds delicious. I haven't had his mulberry. I have my own mulberry bush, so I just do that myself. But yeah, right. I think the smallest teapot that I currently have that I've kept is a 45 milliliter, and that's a nice size, honestly. I enjoy it a lot for green teas. Um, but yeah, 10 is a little. 70 is probably ideal for that, for smaller scale ones. I don't know if it's practical really to go under 70. 125 is kind of my sweet spot for enjoyment for solo sessions. Yeah, yeah, totally fair, totally fair. All right. All right, all right, all right. Will this pop up? And I think gave Brendan, or we traded for like a 25 milliliter teapot at one point, like relatively soon, and he seems to enjoy it, but I don't know. And when I say relatively, it happened relatively, it could have been like yesterday, or it could have been like 17 years ago. The other day in my brain is literally anywhere from yesterday to 17 to 20 years ago is the other day to me. But was it a pretty purple? That's the question. It's just moving clay. It's not actually trimming it. It's too small. Blah. Send me one and I'll wear one on a stream. Not that you're really seeing much down there, but you know. Ooh. Ta-da! Here's its little butt. Okay. This trimming on these is actually taking longer than anything else. I was just curious. It's so small, right? This is the biggest one out of all of them. Okay, this song is gonna make me lose my mind. What did I do with the other little balls of clay? Did I leave them on here and they just got winged off? Hmm. All right, let me grab another piece because I don't know what I did. You guys probably saw what I did, but I don't have no idea. Yeah, I think, you know what? What I'm doing is silly. Well, is it already attached? Oh well, whatever. Okay, it's already attached. Whatever. Centered is a construct. We don't need it. I wanted to bring this one down quite aggressively, and just so it kind of matches size a little bit better than the other ones. But yeah, I think all these will be soda fired. I think that'll be nice. And then there's less like motion for them to go flying and all that. Later, Joyce. Thanks for hanging out. Cool. There's its butt. It's so stupid. I love it. We definitely need to hurry up though, because these are starting, because they're so small, they are drying out quite a lot. And so we have two more to trim, and we really got to put these on, the attachment parts on. I was going to do something differently for this one, and I just panicked and just went right in. Blind confidence, that's what you need for pottery. You just do it. Don't even think about it. Whatever. That'll be fine. Whatever. We're fine. It's good. What's not good is I put my tool somewhere. Ah, they're just blending in. This is not the right tool for the job. That's all right. If we make more of these, I'm gonna have to order myself a new tool though. This one's just not. What I need is a really small version of this tool. Hmm. Oh, I thought that's what you were saying. Oh, you're right. Sorry, cool versus good. Ah, yeah, like I said, send me a kilt. I'll start wearing a kilt while we throw in here. Yeah, it is weird to me that like people don't finish the bottoms though. That is a common occurrence. I go to any person who makes minis, and they just have not touched the bottom. Blows my mind. Look at that bottom. Look at how cute that bottom is. Thank you, Freya. All right, we got one more to trim, and then we can start adding things, putting things together. So the first thing we'll do after this is cut and attach the spouts, and then we're gonna fuse the lids on. Pat, I'm looking at all the lids in the hole that I need to put down through the spout. Because no, I guess I could go on the side. We'll talk about that actually once we get there. I was like thinking about it going through the top of the handle, and the handles are too small, but it could go where the air hole is, um, potentially. Whatever. Again, who needs centered pots? Are so lame. Who needs to center things? Clearly, I do. Otherwise, I can't do this. Oh God, this is not attached at all. Even though there's a giant globular of clay right there. No, I totally agree. I think it would add an extra layer of coolness, but well, I've been thinking about the functionality of it, and if it goes through, if it goes through the hole in the air hole intake in the lid, it could work. But the whole time, I was kind of originally imagining it going through the top of the lid, top of the handle nubbin, and that just doesn't. And I could not think of a way to actually make that functionally work. It's okay. Health insurance is fine. You know, there are positives to living in the States, and then there are as many negatives. I I live in a very nice spot, and so I have nothing to complain about. But it's okay. There are at this exact moment, it's fine. You know, it's not great. It's fine. Uh, it probably will get worse, but at the moment, it's fine. Very soft fine. I'm getting my dual citizenship, so I can leave though. So I don't know if that helps with that answer. Okay, so we don't need any more clay except his handles, and I don't really know how we're going to make these handles yet, so I'm just going to take this off. And we're going to put this here, turn off our wheel, and I'm going to go pee out in the woods because I drank too much tea, and I'll be right back. But you can look at the first teapot that we're going to work on, and we're actually going to, I think we're going to work on the teapot with this idea with Pat's. I think that's going to be this one. Kind of what I'm feeling. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. There's a lot of really beautiful things in the US too, especially on the West Coast. The mountains are gorgeous. I do slightly miss living out west. But okay, first thing we need to do if we're going to try this, and this is really a huge thing, is if I have, aha, here it is. This is what I was looking for. So this is my thinnest tube. And so for this to work, I'm going to poke a hole here. Oh, I was looking at tickets to New Zealand. It's so expensive. Like $2,100 when I looked recently. It looks beautiful though. Pat, I'm not going to do it this time. Um, Mostly because I need a different chain. I am going to do this because I really like this idea. But what I'm thinking about now is that I do want this part. I need a hole here and then a hole that comes down the center. Because I need a double chain thing, because then what I would do on the bottom here after the fact would be a double hole here, and then I could loop it in and up, and then I can chain it through and then have it come around the neck. But as is, this is too dry for me to put a hole through. But 100% going to do that because I think this is a fantastic idea. Um, so first thing I'm actually going to do before I even touch any more of this, that was so difficult to put that hole through, and these are getting so dry that I'm going to just quickly put a hole in the lid of every single one real quick. You know, it would be fun to do actually if we commit to the double-walled mini teapot. It would actually be really cool to do that idea with that double-walled piece to really make it super special. We're going to start with a non-double-walled one when we do it because I need to figure out why things are happening and how to fix things. And I don't want to commit to doing it on something that's too aggressive, but that totally makes sense. How much time do you guys get off? Okay, this is going to go over here to this teapot. This is going to come back to this teapot. Okay, so every teapot gets cut the exact same way. It's high to low, so it's always higher on the top section and always lower on the belly section. Um, every single teapot spout. So the first cut, no matter what, is always like that. And then the second cut is always a lower loop cut. And for funsies, just for some reason, if the lid decides to not stick, we are going to poke a hole through. And so like could be functional if wants to be. So that's too big still. But you get the idea. Could be. I've never owned a gun in my life, and I have no plan on doing so. But the school in New Hampshire that I went to, this town that I lived in had the highest gun per person capita in the US or something. Like every single person owned a gun. So I'm more scared of that than bears, you know, Freya. Cool. So just in case this ever wants to be a functional teapot, we'll put. Freya, do you guys get to do any kind of traveling, or is it just, or are you just too busy? Yes, that's why I went outside. It had nothing to do with the copious amounts of tea that I've been drinking. Actually, what we're going to do is soften this edge first. While I can get in there with a sponge still. So we still haven't made the lids for any, or handles for any of these yet, but we really need to get these attached. The handles are really annoying, I will say. That's probably the hardest part because I'm going to be hand building the handles, and uh, the porcelain, if it's stoneware, it's whatever, but this porcelain, when you work that scale, it dries out really quickly and it cracks really aggressively fast. And so it has its issues. Thank you. All right, there's number one. Obviously, we still have to add a handle, but I'm slowing down. Yeah, honestly, I think what we're gonna do is put this one together, and then I think I need to go take a break. We've been at it for 117 minutes at the moment, making these guys. And I know we're close, but I think I'm gonna rush things and make them not as nice as they could be if I don't have food in me, or just sit down. You know what I mean? So I think what's gonna happen after we put this one together, I'll probably take like an hour or two off, go do some chores, just not be in here for a little bit. And then I think what we're going to do is come back in the evening or in a couple of hours or whatever. I don't know what time it is. It's 2 o'clock. So I think what's going to happen, we'll come back in the evening and make a couple little mini mug earrings. Same here, Freya. I guess that's not true. I take that back. Well, you got a few more minutes. What are you working on today? I still think that's too big. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good. I'm glad to hear that. That's very sweet. This is a baby spout. Oh man. I guess it makes sense. These are baby teapots. There we go. It doesn't really have the gold anymore, but it's mighty cute. And I'm just going for cute here. Gotcha. That sounds fun. Thank you. Appreciate that. It certainly sounds like it. I think it'll be all right, Freya, but I think I do need a break in between. I can tell I'm getting a little over caffeinated because when I do and haven't eaten enough, my left arm starts shaking a little bit, and I'm at that point in my day here. So I just need to go munch on something to combat the 120 ounces of tea I've had this morning. Of course. I'm so happy you guys have been able to hang out. I really appreciate the company. It makes being in here 9 million times better. Like, truly. I really, really appreciate it. I like streaming a lot, and it's just nice to talk to people while I'm working. All right. Yeah, I'm getting a little lightheaded and whatever. I need to go take a break. So, um, there's two options for later. I'll either come back and in like 20 minutes and we'll finish these, or I'll come back in a few hours. These will already have been done off camera, and we'll make like some mini mugs to go with them. So one of those two things will happen. I'm not sure what, but thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys hopefully this evening or in like 20 minutes. Okay, bye.